This is a disappointing video for me to make because I missed my Q2 quota. As I sit here reflecting on why I failed, what went wrong, I've come up with 3 key observations or lessons that I've taken away from Q2 that I plan to apply in Q3 to avoid missing my quota again. And hopefully you can find them useful so that you can find more success in your career as well. And the reason I'm making this video is because I like to be as transparent as possible about my own career, my sales job, my promotion path. I talk a lot about getting promoted 6 times, 4xing my income, going from sales development level 1 to senior account executive at the same company. And I haven't missed quota in 3.5 years. So that's why I feel like I have the credibility to talk about the things I do, because I'm actually in the trenches making cold calls, working deals, winning, losing daily. And the feeling of loss really stings. So I also want to show you guys the good, the bad, and the ugly. And today is a bad one. It's not good. I'm sitting here in the office. I'm pretty angry at myself. I'm refreshing my inbox, waiting for a DocuSign to come in, and I still am going to miss quota no matter if it comes in or not. So let me get right into the lessons. Lesson number 1 is I'm pissed off. As you guys can tell, I am pissed off at myself, and it's okay to be angry. I feel like we as humans, we learn from pain. I don't know if it's because that's how we're evolutionarily programmed. Hey, if you do this long enough, if you touch the hot stove, you're gonna get burnt. Hey, maybe don't do it again. I am experiencing pain right now because I hold myself to such a high standard that I expect to hit and exceed quota. I wrote down this morning, I have closed $300,000 in revenue, which is way higher than my quota, knowing that I probably wouldn't hit it, but I refuse to ever lower my targets. And all I focused on today was finishing as strong as I could and now preparing to be better because of this in Q3. And that's why I'm pissed off, because I hold myself to the standard. I know I could have done better. I should have worked harder. And it's up to me to hold myself accountable and take responsibility for failing to hit my quota and saying what went wrong, what can I do because of this, and how can I be better. Nobody is coming to save me, and nobody is coming to save you. And it's okay to be pissed off because it allows you to learn from your mistakes and figure out how can you grow as a person and be better. Number 2, one of the specific areas that I need to be better at is procurement and legal contract reviews. I'm sitting here, it's 6:32 p.m. and I've been working really hard with this customer for many months now. And I just learned last Thursday, that we were the vendor of choice officially. I had sent him our contracts 2 months ago. 2 months ago, and he acknowledged, hey, we have great feedback from legal. So I assumed we would be able to get through this legal process much faster, and I didn't really hold him to the fire like I should have. I trusted him, and I've been let down, and it's disappointing because I should have been better with my communication, setting the right expectations, because I'm sitting here, my region expects me to pull it in, but right now it's not looking like it's gonna come in. So I hope it comes in, but the lesson from this is that I need to have a better close plan. I need to have communicated. The customer, he's traveling, by the way. I didn't know he was traveling. That's on me. And I literally connected their legal team with my legal team today to work through the red lines. We were able to align on the red lines by 10:30. Closer to 12:30 today. Sent over the updated contract. No word from the customer since. And I should have held him to my standard of, hey, let's set up this call just in case we need it. Can you sign this day? And asking, is there any reason why you wouldn't be able to sign this day? So the takeaway, and I had something like this happen at the end of Q2 as well, and I didn't learn from it. And now it's to the point where this is simply a skill that I must get better at. Whenever the organizations tell you, yes, we want your product, we want to work with you, that's when the work really begins. And me as a more immature rep, I think, oh, we're done. Let's get you a contract. Can you just sign? Let's do it. Oftentimes there's all of these nuances with IT reviews, legal reviews, security, executives that may not have even been briefed on this yet that you don't know about. So it comes down to really understanding the decision process. Who's the economic buyer? Who's signing? Are they available to sign? Are they going on some sort of trip that you didn't know about? So it's a mistake I made, and it's something that I absolutely will be more relentless and persistent, holding my customers to my standard of expectation and making sure we get things done by a certain time. And the last lesson, and to bring some positivity to the video, is that there is somebody in my office today that closed a $1 million deal. Think about that. Think about getting paid 10% on a $1 million deal. The $1 million deal puts you in accelerators, so you're actually getting paid more than the 10%. It automatically promotes you to the next level. And it's I believe the biggest win in our office history, which is incredible. And it was a bright spot in my day because the guy really deserved it. He worked so hard, and I'm glad it happened. And it reminds me that there's no shortage of success. In the past, I would be thinking to myself, man, that should have been me. He got lucky. I should have had that one. It'd be nice if I had it. As soon as you start making excuses as to why others are being more successful than you, it's just a loser mentality. And anytime that thought steeps in my head, I need to quickly remind myself, look, I cannot make excuses as to why my performance is not better or as to why other people are doing better than me. And it's just a reminder that there's no shortage of success. Just because he closes a $1 million deal doesn't mean I couldn't have closed a $1 million deal this quarter. It doesn't mean that I can't consistently hit and exceed my quota. There's literally infinite money out there. There's 8 billion people. And just because somebody else in your company is doing better than you, that should be celebrated because it actually proves what's possible. It enlarges the pie. It helps everybody be more successful. And I'm glad that I'm looking at it that way because it motivates me, because now I want to be more successful. I want to raise my performance as a result. The final things I want to share with you is yesterday I was also frustrated. It's been a frustrating week, if you guys can't tell. So what I started to write down was this concept called emotional regulation, about when we are working in a knowledge-based profession like we are in software sales, we're not paid to be physical, to use our hands or to our bodies or clock in and out. It's a knowledge-based profession. It's being able to articulate value, drive business outcomes in order to justify the expensive cost of your software solutions. And I was thinking, it's such a mental game, being able to communicate with others, being able to listen actively, being able to work well with others, and being able to control your emotions through the ups and the downs. So I thought emotional regulation would be a good way of describing it. And what I wrote down is that a few principles in this is that nothing is as good or as bad as it seems. So I'm of course pissed I missed quota, but it's not as bad as it seems. And at least that's the story I'm telling myself. And if you win the $1 million deal, that's great, but it's not as good as it seems either. So it's got to be that counterbalance. Next, everyone has their own reality that they want to project onto you. And all that matters is your own perception of your own reality. So you can hear what I'm saying and you can say, okay, that's Trent's reality. That's his viewpoint in the world. I acknowledge that. And now I can decide how I want to act and what I can decide is credible or not. So everyone has their own viewpoint. So when I pull up TikTok, I get so much hate in the comments. They're like, Trent, you're stacking L's, like all this whatever. Like I would never miss quota, like all these crazy comments. And the other day, it was a comment about my hairline. I said, is my hairline receding? And I started to get in my head, and it impacted my ability to fall asleep that night, oddly enough. And I need to remind myself that it's their own reality that they're projecting onto me, and it actually doesn't matter, because all that matters is my own reality and how I view the world, similar to you, how you think about the world. Next is that don't read too deeply into the hidden meaning of what other people are saying. Or what you think they may be thinking about you. All that actually matters is their actions. And that actually comes from the 48 laws of power. And we're starting to get a little abstract now, but think about that and extrapolate, and you can figure out what it means. And then finally, never come up with excuses as to why other people are more successful than you. It's just a loser way of thinking about it. I'm sitting here, we're gonna end the video here. I need to be better because of this. I'm going to take responsibility. I show up on the camera, whether I'm doing good things or whether I'm doing bad things. I'm going to bring it to you guys how it is. That was my experience. I missed my quota in Q2, and I tend to deal well with adversity. So it's gonna force me to get better, to learn from some of these mistakes, work even harder. And I promise you guys, in 3 months from now, it's going to be a different story when we come back and report Q3 outcome results. I hope you had a great quarter. I hope you're excited for the second half of the year. And when your quota starts to get really big like mine, you can't always over-index one quarter, 1 month. I'm now looking at it in halves, meaning first half, second half. When I become an enterprise rep, it's going to be annual. And then maybe as a leader one day, it's going to become over 3 years, whatever it may be. So perspective, time horizons, nothing is as good as or bad it seems. It's all going to work out. Nonetheless, I really appreciate your support. If you enjoyed today's video, hit the like button right now. Subscribe as well. Our goal is 15,000 subscribers, and we just want to keep growing. And I just want to spread the word to other salespeople because I'm just like you in the trenches doing it each and every day. Finally, comment the water emoji because I just filled up this water bottle trying to stay hydrated despite the lack of quota attainment. So have a great rest of your evening, afternoon, morning. Talk to you in the next video. Bye.